There you go.
April 5th, 2022. It's the 10th year of Arizona Gives Day, and 6 hours in, all signs are pointing to the most successful edition yet. More than 1,000 nonprofits all across the state are coming together today in the state's biggest annual celebration of philanthropy, and we're covering it all on Generosity Live with this wonderful woman momentarily, starting right now. That's right, it's Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy, back here in the Fly the W studio in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. It's Generosity Live, and coming up this hour, we will dive into that $180,000 prize pool that is up for grabs for the more than 1,000 participating nonprofits during this 10th annual Arizona Gives Day. We will not replay Tim Sarrantonio, that's the wrong button, but we will answer your frequently asked questions about Arizona Gives Day. And of course, as you saw, we've got Marcy here from No Kill, Pima County. Can't wait to get into that conversation. As I mentioned again, this is the 10th year of Arizona Gives Day, and you can see more than $30 million has been raised over the years. What a beautiful day for philanthropy. What a beautiful day for the state of Arizona. And I'm just grateful to have you here, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Twitch. Or maybe you're my mom back on Long Island. You're watching on all 5 of those social networks at the same time. You got every device up. I'm just kidding. My mom doesn't know what Twitch is, probably, I'm sure. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to a really wonderful organization, and that's really what AZ Gives Day, at least to me, is all about, is meeting new nonprofits that you want to get out and support. And I'm certain after you meet Marcy here, that you'll feel the same way I do and want to go make a donation. This is my friend Marcy Vellon from No Kill, Pima County. Marcy, welcome to Generosity Live.
Thanks, Chris.
How's your AZ Gives Day coming along so far?
It's plugging along.
It's plugging along. All right, take a couple minutes
and
and
we got a couple checks. We also got a couple nice checks that
that makes that
nice
plugging along go a lot easier, I think.
Yes, it does.
So Marcy, give us the overview. Tell me all about No Kill, Pima County.
Okay. Well, when we started back in 2012, it was the early days of the No Kill movement, which was a movement across the country to improve the welfare and the outcomes of animals that went into public shelters. Back in those days, Tucson was like most of the country, and about half the animals didn't make it out alive. There weren't any services, or there wasn't even as much focus on adoption as there is today. So animals that were sick or animals that were there too long, they just were put down. And so it was pretty dismal, and it was the state of our country in general. So the No Kill movement came along. We were there at one of the early stages. And what we advocated for is called the No Kill equation, which is 11 services, activities, philosophies that basically are common sense, and if they were implemented thoroughly, would just naturally lead to saving most of the animals that come into a shelter. And so all those components, it included ways to keep animals out of the shelter, like helping to keep them with their family, or microchips so that animals, when they're lost, they go home instead of going into a shelter. Also taking care of the animals once they're in the shelter, giving them medical care that didn't exist 10 years ago for the animals in the shelter, and then improving services like adoption and rescue and relationships with the community so animals got out alive to really good placements. And so we worked for years to help the community do that. We weren't the only ones. There was a great convergence of organizations at the time working for the same goal. This is an animal-loving community, there's no question. And I'm very proud to say that today our shelter is excellent. It went from about a 49% save rate 10 years ago to now at least 92%.
Wow.
And some months it's significantly higher than that. So we have a very good shelter, excellent services provided, and we are narrowing our focus to ways that we can support them, because sustaining a life-saving community is possibly even harder than getting there in the first place. Because people are all ramped up when animals are dying, and when most of them are saved, people go, oh, it's okay, just bring your animals there now. It's safe, and everybody brings their animals there. So they're overcrowded again. It's a problem across the country as well. So we've narrowed our focus. Now we're really working on keeping animals out of the shelter. And so we spend a lot of our effort making sure the community knows about resources to help them keep their animals. We have a website with support options and solutions for keeping animals out of shelters. It's actually a directory on our website, so people know about free services, low-cost services, and any specials that are going on. And then our funding basically now goes to helping people who have unexpected veterinary bills. They have pets with accidents or illnesses and can't quite come up with the funding to cover that. We also help with community cats. Those are cats that live outside, and there's tons of people that care for community cats. They feed them, they trap them, they neuter them. But if they get sick, if the community cat gets sick, there aren't a lot of caretakers that can afford to take care of those medical bills. So we help community cats too. So that's basically where our focus is now, is helping the community by working with the community, and that's how we help. Oh, the sun is coming in. I thought I was gonna beat that. Helping the community, helping the shelter by helping people who love their animals stay with them so that they don't take up space from a shelter for animals that really have no other choice. They have to be there.
Well, Marcy, two big things. One,
How can I fix this?
First, you look fantastic. It looks great. Anything can happen on a live stream. I've learned that over the years. Marcy, first and foremost, thank you for the great work that you do. I'm sure you hear that, or I hope you hear that quite frequently from the families that benefit from your services there. But it's important for me to remind you, on behalf of everyone who's watching this, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, you talk a lot about the volume of the different pets and the statistics, the 92% rate, and that's great. But what I'm going to ask you to do, Marcy, is I want you to zoom in on a story of a specific animal that's really been near and dear and close to your heart. It could be one of the ones that's got a picture on the wall behind you or not. Just tell us a story of one particular animal that would really sort of embody the sort of story that a donor today to your
I would
organization
like to give an
could help.
example. Yeah, I'd like to give an example that's from the early days, because it was the lesson learned. It was proof of the pudding. When we started this part of the service to help people with their animals, it was in 2014 when the county shelter allowed us to set up a table at the front door and talk to people that were bringing in animals that they owned, animals that they found, and animals that they needed to put down. They would bring, the county did free euthanasia, which is a good service because a lot of people can't afford that, and you don't want animals to suffer when they do need to be put down, need to be euthanized. So we would be at the door talking to people. After we developed our resource directory, we'd tell them about the resources in town. And we had very little funding at the time to do anything about vet bills, but we tried. And there was one family, one mom that came in and said that her dog was in the back of the car. It couldn't walk. It couldn't stand up. She thought it had a stroke. She couldn't afford to take care of that vet bill. And she wanted to do what she thought was the best thing for that pup, which was to bring it to the shelter and have it euthanized. So interestingly, the volunteer who was there that day, and I was there too, said, let me look at the dog. And she went and looked at the back of the car and she said, what's interesting is I had a dog with the same exact symptoms. And you know what it was? It was an inner ear infection, and it was cured by an over-the-counter medication. So what do you think if we can help you get to a vet to have a vet look at it and get a diagnosis instead of leaving it here and asking for it to be put down? And in those days, most of the animals that they requested be put down were put down. It was considered the thing to do. If that's what the owner wants, you do it, for whatever reason it might have been. And so later that day, the pet owner contacted the volunteer and said, I just want to thank you for saving my dog's life. That's what it was. And it's just so amazing to think that for less than $100, in fact, back then it was just the office visit. It probably wasn't even $50 to not only save a dog's, well, I shouldn't say not only, basically to save a dog's life, but also to save a dog the trauma of going to a shelter and losing its family. Even if the shelter was able to save its life, it would have lost its family. And so it's a trauma. It's just a trauma for everybody all the way around. And it just became crystal clear. It doesn't take a lot of money. Sometimes it does. We'll be talking about that too. But sometimes it's 50, 100. Very often it's less than $200 is all it takes to get the care that animal needs. Because often the families are contributing too. It's just that they can't quite cover it.
So Marcy, let's talk money a little bit. I brought up on the screen while you were talking there your azgives.org donation page, and we took a look at sort of where you guys stand. And I noticed that you guys have a $10,000 match available.
Yeah.
Today. All right. Could you tell us what that means?
That wasn't today. It's not a dollar for dollar match.
Okay.
It was someone who gave and who'd never done this before. This was really a big deal for us, for someone to give us $10,000 and say, and I'd like you to use it to encourage other people to donate. And to, maybe this will help the community rally and see if they can match my $10,000. And so that's what we're doing. I don't know. I'm assuming it will make a difference. I'm hoping it will make a difference. Again, we do have at least 1,000 more than is showing on the website, but setting a $10,000 goal for us is a big one. We have not done that before, and we've been doing this for many years, but our funding for helping people has always been very modest, and we're hoping to increase that because there's no question the need and the demand is increasing.
Well, Marcy, it happens one connection and one person at a time. And again, I'm just so grateful for you taking the time tonight to come on and share the story of your organization and of these specific pets whose lives you've saved over the years. Because by sharing this story here on Generosity Live, and you watching at home, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Twitch, you can hit that retweet button, you can hit that share button, and more importantly, you can go make a donation that helps Marcy and their organization fulfill that $10,000 match. I think it's great to think big with these dollar amounts, Marcy. That's what these days are all about. This is going to be the biggest AZ Gives Day ever, and I'm certain that it's going to be the biggest AZ Gives Day ever for you guys as well. So I'm rooting for you. I'll be jumping in after this stream to make my donation, and it's great to see that it'll be matched as well. So, Marcy, what do you think a day like AZ Gives Day means to the state of Arizona?
Oh, I think everybody agrees that it's huge. It's huge, and it makes a big difference. I know I've heard you talking about new donors with your other people, and last I checked, 1/3 of our donors were new donors, and so everybody's got growing needs. There's no question. It started with COVID, and I don't think it's any better now. I think it's worse. I think people are having trouble with their income and their bills and inflation. And so I think the needs for we serve a lot of seniors on Social Security. A big proportion of our clientele are seniors trying to keep their pets, which is so important to their well-being to keep their pets too. And low-income people, it's just getting harder, people living paycheck to paycheck. So regardless of what the charity is, pretty much, I think it's critical now. It's just growing, and I hope AZ Gives grows exponentially. I mean, we're serving twice as many people now as we did in 2019, and the trend is going in that direction. So the more everybody can raise, the more people that can have some stability in their life or for their pet.
It warms my heart, Marcy, to just hear the impact that you guys are making. And this job that I do here, it never gets old to meet wonderful human beings like yourself. Maybe someday our paths will cross in person. The next time I'm in Tucson, I'll have to stop by and shake your hand, my well sanitized hand with a mask on, whatever it is we need to do, Marcy. I don't know. We'll make it happen.
No problem.
But I'm very grateful to you for the work that you do. I think no matter who you are, we all have that warm, soft spot in our heart for our pets. You know, my mom has an aging cat, an ageless cat, I should probably say. My dad with his 3 massive dogs, and just thinking about hugging and petting them, and thinking about how the work that you do and how the dollars that a person can donate right now can help create those sort of experiences for others in Arizona means a lot. So thank you. Is there anything else you want to share on the show here while we have you, Marcy?
I think you covered everything. It's just we hope everybody gives to somebody. Those that have, and actually it's amazing, those that don't have, the people that we have helped who give back to us, sometimes more than we gave them in the first place, because they're just so grateful. And I wish everybody could see the thank you notes that I get, because they're really thanking the public, they're not thanking me. And I remind them of that all the time, and I try and remind the public of that too. It's really giving is just a good thing. Pay it forward.
It's pretty incredible how a day like this always brings out the best in people.
Uh-huh.
You know, and this is my first time covering an AZ Gives Day, but really that sentiment is threaded throughout the country. You know, and there's Marcy's in San Antonio, and there's Marcy's in Gainesville, Florida, and there's Marcy's in York, Pennsylvania. And it's wonderful to see. And I'm so grateful to you for taking the time tonight. Marcy Vellon from No Kill Pima County. Again, I put up that donation page on the screen, so you can go right there. Go to azgives.org, type in No Kill Pima County. You'll be able to make your donation. If you do so before noon Mountain Time tomorrow, April 6th, you'll have an opportunity to be part of that match until it's exceeded. And you'll also have an opportunity to help Marcy and her organization possibly win one of those 116 prizes in that prize pool. Marcy Vellon, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. I'm glad the sun moved out of your eyes, and all our microphone issues have finally been solved by our 4th hour of Generosity Live. Thank you
Thanks,
again.
Chris.
And I'll get my donation over to you here on short order. I promise.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marcy. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
That was your featured conversation. The great Marcy Vellon. And this is Generosity Live. It is still premiere day. It is coming up on 9:20 here in the Eastern Time Zone. My name again is Chris Strub, the Giving Day Guy. You can follow me across all my different social media channels at Chris Strub. Of course, you can watch Generosity Live wherever it makes sense for you. Maybe you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or Twitch. They're all good. There's no wrong way to watch Generosity Live, a new multi-streaming live show designed to provide live coverage of 24-hour fundraising events called Giving Days around the United States. And my job as your host and producer is to use live social video to help you, a prospective new donor, meet the folks like Marcy Vellon out in Tucson to help them raise money to do the important work that they do. And man, do I have a cool job. It just never, ever gets old to me to have those sort of conversations and to bring those sort of stories to you in the palm of your hand. Or maybe you're watching on the big screen, whether you're watching today on April 5th or 20 years from now. This is day one of Generosity Live, and I can't wait to produce this show in more communities, more states, more cities, all across America. So if you want me to come to your county, come to your state, reach out, chrisstrub@gmail.com. Find me on social media, @chrisstrub. I do want to make sure I emphasize one more time the importance of this prize pool. $180,000 available for nonprofits like No Kill Pima County. And I'm going to play a little informative video here for you to make sure that prize structure is clear. I do want you to go to azgives.org/prizes. There's actually a 10-page document that you can take a peek at to make sure you have that full understanding of how all these prizes work. Let's get that up on the screen and get that rocking and rolling here. Arizona Gives features 116 opportunities for nonprofits of all sizes to win a random prize by simply participating. Organizations can win only one prize, and all prize announcements are preliminary until winners are verified. This year's prize pool totals $180,000. Of the 116 prizes for AZ Gives 2022, 20 prizes totaling $15,000 have been allocated for early giving donations, which ended at 12 p.m. on April 5th. So, what are the big prizes available? There are 33 Power Hour prizes totaling $63,000. Those 11 Power Hours are April 5th, 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 7 p.m., and 8 p.m., and April 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 a.m. Each Power Hour has an opportunity for micro, small to mid-size, and large/extra large nonprofits to win the Power Hour prize, and each hour varies in minimum donation to be eligible for the prize, either $25, $50, or $100. You should check your favorite nonprofit's social media channels to see which Power Hour prize they are pursuing. There are 15 prizes for Gives Day leaders, representing $67,500 of that $180,000 prize pool, plus an additional 10 bonus prizes that are only available to Alliance members. Micro, small, mid-size, large, and extra large nonprofits that raise the most money during AZ Gives, including early giving, will each receive a $6,500 prize. Second place finishers in each size category will receive a $4,500 prize, and third place finishers will receive a $2,500 prize. The Alliance member prizes will be awarded to the fourth and fifth place finishers in each size category for $1,500 and $1,000 apiece. There are 14 golden ticket prizes worth $500 each. Golden ticket winners will be drawn from all donations of $25 or more during the following hours: April 5th, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 and 10 p.m., and April 6th, 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. Each nonprofit is only eligible to win one golden ticket. The remaining $15,000 of that $180,000 prize pool will be allocated through a set of 14 rural prizes totaling $10,000 and a set of 10 fundraiser pages prizes totaling $5,000. To see an updated list of prize winners and to explore the full criteria for each prize, keep an eye on azgives.org/prizes. Most importantly, be sure to follow your favorite nonprofits on social media to see which prizes they are pursuing and how your donations can help them win extra cash and exceed their AZ Gives Day goals. Generosity Live continues here from the Fly the W studio here in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. Again, if you're just tuning in, my name is Chris Strub, the Giving Day Guy. This is the 21st Giving Day that I have produced since 2017. September will mark 6 years for me in Louisville, Kentucky, where I got my start with Give for Good Louisville. Shout out to the Community Foundation of Louisville. Also worked several years in San Antonio, worked a couple years in St. Louis, York, Pennsylvania, and in a few weeks I'll be back down in Columbia for Midlands Gives. So can't wait to keep this Giving Day train going. As we talked about with Tim Sarrantonio earlier today, this really feels like the beginning of that spring Giving Day season. It's great to have all the cameras fired up again here. Let's even show you. Got the whole setup here in the Fly the W studio, the really official lunchbox laptop stand here. We've got the ring lights, we've got the Panasonic Lumix here. We've got the soundboard here, which allows me to control the music, which I just love. Hope you guys are enjoying the vibe here of the show as we're rocking and rolling as well. And of course, we have an iPad Pro set up here on my right. That is how we control Switcher Studio. So there's a camera built into my iPad there. We've got the camera behind me here, set up on a tripod. Then we've got a camera in front of me here that's also an iPhone. And if I wanted to, I could add in several more devices, up to 9 different angles here internally. Plus you saw, of course, we were able to bring in Marcy, and you can bring in lots of different virtual guests using Switcher Studio. So if you're interested in getting started with Switcher Studio, you're going to want to go to www.tryswitcher.com. That's www.tryswitcher.com to get started. You'll have access to 30 free days of Switcher Studio. Guess I'm not using that as a promo. That's why you crank the music up there. www.tryswitcher.com to get 30 free days of Switcher Studio. Get started. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. And you can do some really special stuff with Switcher, as you can see, all just at the touch of a button. We're also, for Generosity Live, we're using Restream to be able to stream this content to those 5 different platforms simultaneously. I mean, how cool is that? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Twitch, all streaming at the same time through Restream. So connect Switcher Studio to Restream, and you can stream to multiple locations, destinations. I've got donations on the brain, and that's okay. I'm gonna pour myself a nice glass of bourbon here after we shut things down and make my donations to No Kill Pima County and the other wonderful nonprofits that we spoke to earlier today, Our Neighbors Farm and Pantry and Esperança. So you'll want to check out those live streams on demand on any of those social media channels that I just mentioned. As we get ready to sign things off here for the night, it's 9:30 in South Carolina, which means it's 6:30 in Arizona. $2.261 million raised. So far, we got a long ways to go. We got a long night ahead and plenty of hours coming up tomorrow, April 6th. And if you miss AZ Gives Day, it's not too late. You can still make a donation to any of these nonprofits on that azgives.org platform 365 days a year. How cool is that? I want to say thank you again to each and every one of you who have tuned in throughout this premiere day of Generosity Live. Again, this is a brand new show. I didn't know what to expect, which means you probably had no idea what to expect. And hopefully this has been kind of fun for you to tune in and see what we've put together with Generosity Live, the premiere edition. Generosity Live Arizona 2022. I would love to produce more episodes of Generosity Live. Let's make it happen. If your company would like to sponsor Generosity Live, you can reach out to me via email, chrisstrub@gmail.com, or you can find me on any of my social media channels. At Chris Strub, you can send me a message on Instagram at Chris Strub, as well as a great way to reach me. You can also learn more about the show at www.generositylive.com. That's the official Generosity Live website. And we know you probably have more questions about Arizona Gives Day. So we got one more video that I'm going to play for you, answering a lot of those frequently asked questions about donations, donation receipts, how AZ Gives Day works, the prize structure, the fee structure, all of that stuff. So let's fire up that video one more time. If you have any other questions about AZ Gives Day, you can go to azgives.org. There is a support bubble there in the bottom corner of the screen. See that button that says chat? You can click that chat button and you can speak to someone from Neon One with your specific questions about AZ Gives Day. Again, with almost 15,000 donations that have been made so far today, it's a lot of donors, it's a lot of questions to field, so that chat button is really a great way to get your questions answered. Let's fire up the frequently asked questions video, and I'll be back to sign things off in a few minutes. The following frequently asked questions and answers are taken from azgives.org/donors. Why should I give through the Arizona Gives website versus directly to an organization? Arizona Gives allows nonprofits to win additional money from the prize pool on Arizona Gives Day. Some of the prizes are based on the total amount raised within a particular category. Categories are based on annual revenue size or location. Nonprofits can also win prizes through random drawings, just for participating or being an Alliance member. For a donation to count towards the total amount raised, it must be made through the azgives.org website in the allotted time frame for early giving 3 weeks prior and on Arizona Gives Day. Arizona Gives allows donors to manage and keep track of their annual giving in one place with a donor account. Donors have complete control of their donations and can adjust their giving as they see fit. Donors can also create a personal fundraising campaign for the nonprofits and missions they care about most at any time of the year. What payment methods are accepted? Credit and debit cards, including Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. E-checks are also accepted. Will I receive a receipt for my donation? Yes, you will receive an electronic tax receipt with a list of each organization you gave to via the email address you provide. While Arizona Gives sends you an electronic tax receipt, each nonprofit organization is also responsible for sending donors a donation letter unless you have chosen to remain fully anonymous. Electronic tax receipts have been approved by the Arizona Department of Revenue and can be used for Arizona state tax credit purposes. I'm having trouble making a donation. If your credit or debit card was declined, first, contact your credit or debit card provider or bank to obtain the decline reason. Please be ready to provide the full name on your card, the donation amount you are trying to make, and the last 4 digits of your credit card. If you have contacted your credit card provider or bank and have still not determined the issue, contact the Arizona Gives support team by clicking the support button at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. With over 1,000 participating nonprofits and tens of thousands of donors, the contact form is the best way for us to manage your questions in an orderly manner. How do I fix a mistake on a donation? To fix a mistake on a donation, please contact our support team by clicking the support button at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. With over 1,000 participating nonprofits and tens of thousands of donors, the contact form is the best way for us to manage your questions in an orderly way. How will the donations be reported on my credit card statement? Donations will show on your credit card statement as being made to Arizona Gives or the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits. All donations will be reconciled and transferred to the participating organization at the end of each processing period. Please be sure to use your e-receipt as a record of which organizations and donation amounts you made for tax purposes. If you have a donor account, you can log in to azgives.org to locate your detailed donation information there. Arizona Gives is a program of the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits, who is a 501c3 charitable organization, EIN 20-2529887. Are there any costs associated with donating? Donors will have an option to increase their donation by 5.4% to help offset the cost for a nonprofit to participate by covering the donation fee. By opting in to cover this cost, donors are lessening the amount paid by the nonprofit. Why do you charge a donation fee? It costs the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits between $330,000 to $375,000 to operate Arizona Gives each year. The fees charged on donations, which the donor has the option to cover, are 5.4%. The nonprofit will still be responsible for any merchant or processing fees, just as they would for donations received by their organization any other way. A portion of the 5.4% donation fee charged at checkout goes directly to the technology provider for developing and maintaining a secure and user-friendly donation site. The other portion goes back into the Arizona Gives program account to fund next year's Day of Giving. Each year, that portion of the fee funds about 35% of the total amount needed to operate Arizona Gives Day. The Alliance fundraises the remaining amount, including the entire incentive prize pool. The Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits is extremely grateful to its corporate and foundation partners who have faithfully supported Arizona Gives each year. Without them, the Alliance would not be able to keep the fees low and make Arizona Gives as accessible as it is today for nonprofits of all sizes. The beauty of Arizona Gives Day is that it shows what is possible when we all invest our time, talents, and treasures to truly lift the tide of all nonprofits that participate. Donors believe in this power of collective giving as well, choosing year over year to cover approximately 80% of the fees on donations, which is 15 to 20% higher than the national average. Donors can have faith in the fact that giving on azgives.org means they are donating to verified nonprofits in a secure technology platform. It also means that they are giving their nonprofits the ability to earn incentive prizes on Arizona Gives Day. Is my payment information safe and secure? Yes, Neon Pay, our merchant processor, provides a secure service. All payments are tokenized and no card or bank account information is stored in a Neon One application. Neon Pay's toolset is PC1-DDS Level 1 compliant, the same as what banks use, and contains fraud monitoring at the transactional level to maintain the highest standard of security. What is Neon One? Neon One is Arizona Gives' technology partner. Neon One's Giving Day platform, Neon Giving Days, formerly Civicor, has helped raise millions of dollars for some of the largest giving days in the country. Neon Giving Days has also celebrated successful giving days in more than 30 communities nationwide. Can I make an anonymous donation? Yes. When donors are ready to check out, they may elect to be partially anonymous, i.e., donors' contact information and donation amount provided to the organization for receipt purposes only. Donor will be marked as not wanting to receive other communication/recognition. Or fully anonymous, where no donor contact information will be provided to the organization, only a dollar amount. Can I make a gift in honor of or in memory of someone? Yes. Donors will have the option to make a gift in honor of or in memory of during checkout. Can I give an early donation? Yes. Credit/debit card and e-check donations can be made before Arizona Gives Day or at any time of the year. In order for a donation to count towards an organization's grant total for Arizona Gives Day, it must be made during the early giving period, beginning approximately 3 weeks prior. Donors may select the Today button and donate as a guest when the desire is for a donation to be made/processed immediately. I missed Arizona Gives Day. Can I still make a donation? Yes. You can make a gift on Arizona Gives at any time. azgives.org accepts donations year-round. That's going to just about wrap things up here for Generosity Live Arizona. Man, really flew by. Let's take one more look at where we stand right now. 2,287,049, representing 14,953 donations to 866 organizations. Additionally, you can see there 580 volunteers have pledged a combined 23,235 hours. And again, we've got a long ways to go. Arizona Gives Day this year is running from 12 p.m. Mountain Time today, April 5th, to 12 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow, April 6th. And so those prizes that we talked about before, 116 prizes available. About 20 of them were allocated in that early giving period. So about 96 awards were available just during this 24-hour period, while some of the donations would be cumulative, so early giving plus everything you get during this 24-hour period. And some of them are specific to just the 24 hours. Some of them are specific to an individual hour. You really have to go to azgives.org/prizes to see how all of this money is allocated out. It's really impressive to think about 10 years of AZ Gives. I mean, I was still working in a newspaper in Binghamton 10 years ago. Not even thinking about the nonprofit sector, much less live streaming, much less Greenville, South Carolina. 10 years. Congratulations, guys. That's incredible. And we talked earlier about the impact of the nonprofit sector on the state of Arizona. $23.5 billion a year nearly 8% of this state's GDP, 332,000 jobs, 171,000 of those direct, making the nonprofit sector the 5th largest non-government employer in the state. Nonprofits are a big deal, and it was an absolute honor today to get a chance to speak to several of them. We spoke, of course, to Esperança in our first interview this evening. Then we spoke with Our Neighbors Farm and Pantry, and then, of course, earlier this hour, No Kill, Pima County. 3 outstanding conversations, 3 great nonprofits that if you're looking for a new organization to support, they would each make a great candidate to do so. I want to say thank you again to our unofficial technology providers, Switcher Studio and Restream. No sponsorship today, but hey, they're both great programs. And without Switcher and without Restream, there certainly wouldn't be a Generosity Live that resembles anything like what we're doing here today. And shout out, by the way, too, to Rode. Again, not a sponsor, but this Rodecaster Pro, especially if you've enjoyed the musical interludes today. I think we're going to crank it up a little bit to say goodnight. Pour myself a little drink in honor of my first Giving Day. That's my first Giving Day of 2022, but my first Giving Day ever was Give for Good Louisville 2017, home, of course, of Maker's Mark. And that's what we've got here. A little bit of Maker's. A little orange slice and a cherry. We're going to sign off and say goodnight. If you've enjoyed this, tell your friends. Hit that follow button, hit that share button, hit whatever button is available on the platform where you're watching. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Twitch. Thank you again to the nonprofits that we spoke to today. And really, thank you to you. If you're watching, cheers. Go make your donations. azgives.org. I'm going to watch this $2.3 million mark go by as we say good night from the Fly the W studio here in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. My name is Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy, host of Generosity Live. Good luck to all 1,000 plus nonprofits on the rest of your AZ Gives Day experience. I'll see you next time.